And we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Shit, you're here already?
Crap.
Oh no!
Quick.
Wait, we're live.
Hello. Since when? Hi, everyone.
Sorry, does this joke get better over time? I just hope it does. That's not all my humor amounts to, is making the same joke over and over again with minor variations.
I believe in you.
We'll
get there.
I think you're very funny.
All right.
You're hilarious.
So what are we doing today?
Everybody suck up to the DM. It's fine.
Characters are going on holiday and they're gonna have a nice time.
I think we're playing GURPS today, right?
That doesn't sound like me, either of those things.
Neither of those.
So, Quest the Soaring City, Season 2, Episode 4, Shadows in the Sun. It's one of those times where I just throw a name out and hope we can live up to it. We're doing something a little bit different today. Instead of having the usual cacophony of people trying to tell a story at the same time, we're gonna have a more focused cacophony of people telling stories in small bite-sized chunks concurrently, except not quite concurrently because I'm doing something confusing. It'll hopefully be clear as we go.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Before we do that, I'm Nat.
Nat.
Pronouns are he, they. You can find me at CrimeNat on the internet. I'm the GM. I'm the everybody. These lovely 5 people are not playing. And let's just go around starting to my right from your perspective with Sam.
I had a moment of you like, wait, who's right? Hey everyone, I am Sam. I go by they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Ro the Naturalist, who goes by they, any pronouns. And down below me is Nunu next.
It is I. Yes, I'm Nuno, he, him, and I'm playing Zake, the Charmblade, he, they pronouns. Iza, I believe?
Hello, I am Izza. I go by Evil Clever Dog on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be playing Faris the Invoker, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Hello, I am Megan, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Lena, our wonderful disaster spy, whose pronouns are also she, her. And I'll throw it up.
Oh, thank you. Hi, I am Robert. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing the doctor today, who is a doctor. Crazy. His pronouns are he, they. Yeah. That kind of stuff is happening.
Yeah. Shall we? Anything else we need? Oh, I guess we should mention where we were when we left off last time a little bit. Although it will not help you very much when you start this session initially. But it's important. So last session, the city was hiding in a fog-filled canyon, getting bombarded by siege weaponry, trebuchets. It has a shield over it because it's like magic and cool, and so it was just rumbling every so often. And that's very patented rumble that happens every so often. And they were like, we got to figure out who's doing this. So they went out and they found some unmarked mercenaries. Well, they were marked. They had like a golden gear shape. And they were like, well, that didn't tell us enough. Let's kidnap one of them. So they kidnapped a sentry. And his name was Jax, and he's pretty amenable to helping out. And they were heading back to the city to take him as a political prisoner, I guess, and get more information out of him. But that's not where we're starting today.
So we didn't really think it through.
Kinda happened.
So we're starting, still in Valerith, in Starfall Spire. Valerith is soaring through the sky. It is evening. Above the clouds, there's a beautiful array of oranges as the sun is setting. And Dr. Falwyn Denor is alone in Starfall Spire. There is no rumble, there is no trebuchet fire, but there is something that your very keen doctorial senses notice.
Ooh.
There's a chessboard. in the living room. It's nice, priced slightly askew from square with the table. It is set up, ready for a game. And as you look, watching, the white pawn moves forward 2 spaces, queenside. A gambit.
Gonna stand just looking at it for a good 45 to 50 seconds, just like... And then just sit down. Black side, of course. Look at a few more seconds. And then I'm just going to move the opposite pawn straight forward 2 spaces to meet the one which was moved.
Another piece moves, a knight, developing out into the center of the board, very neatly, wrapped around to the front.
Doctor's just gonna, like, lift his robes a bit, crossing his, what's the word I'm looking for? Wow, my brain just shut down.
Legs?
He's missing a leg, and it's a false leg. Why can't I not think of what it's called?
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic. Thank you so much. His prosthetic leg over his non-prosthetic one. And then just kind of lean forward, putting his chin in his hand. Well, his masked chin. And he's just gonna copy the exact move again. But from his side.
And you go on with this. Move to move. And you can see quite clearly whatever you're playing against is matching in such a way as to bring you into a losing position if you continue. Do you?
Before moving my next piece, the doctor's just gonna say out loud, "Can you hear me? Can I hear you?"
It's good having a play partner again.
The doctor is going to intentionally move his king out. A very stupid move. A move that a veteran chess player would actually be annoyed by were they on the other side.
The other pieces, every single time you've moved, have moved quickly. They've anticipated your actions before. And this time, there was a pause. And then... You know, it wasn't so easy to arrange this. Need not squander it.
Does he move a piece?
He does not yet. There's no clock, so it's not like he can be formally penalized for it.
Oh, well, I mean, I go out and I find a, a judge and we're gonna get... No. I only play to win with friends.
And I guess it'll be easy for me to take my lead back. And he moves out a queen and puts you in check.
Of course. The doctor's still going to play by the rules, and I can't leave myself in check.
Yeah.
So, the doctor is going to, in the chessboard I see, move his knight in the way of the queen and the king. Yes, I assume it will be very, very easy for you to win this match. Harvest.
In the dim of the living room, light spilling out from a lamp illuminates out a cardboard pizza box that's been discarded under the table. Looks like Tiny got to it. A shade begins to coalesce across from you. Not a fully formed person, just a semi-transparent visage and body. You can see the butlery facade has been somewhat cast aside for more severe cloaks and darkened attire. I was thinking I could offer an olive branch after last time.
I am not so against your goals, Arvis. Obviously. But your means of doing it. Your olive branch would have to be grand indeed to make up for what you did, what you tried to do.
I certainly agree, Fallen. My methods were unsuccessful. Made in vain. You've been a wonderful example, you and your heroes, as the paper's been calling you. The progress you've been making, and the Emperor actually agrees that maybe we should be doing things alongside you, not against you.
Well, that is wonderful.
And certainly I'm a better chess companion than that cat.
You think so? Just kind of move. The doctor moves his left hand over to pet Lapis on it. Try not to cover my mic. Pet Lapis.
Your skeletal cat purrs, rattling slightly.
I don't know. Lapis is actually quite good at chess. Doesn't try to kill a whole city worth of people while doing it.
Are we talking about chess or something else now?
Well, I don't know. What are we talking about? You said that the Emperor looking to maybe not be so hostile towards us.
Oh. How do you think you were made able to escape so easily? It wasn't just random chance and luck. These things are carefully contemplated, crafted together. We can't make it look like we're letting you go.
You know, the gaping hole that was left in my side when I tried to leave a side. Double saying side, whatever. That was a good act, then. make me believe she was trying to kill me. But I have no problem with the Emperor. Other than choices made. You, I have more problem with.
Well, air your grievances.
You
I
are a
would
garbage
like-
human being. If you even are that. But human. Any kind could make. Well, Daruna was also. Are you brothers?
You are far from the first person to insinuate I am some sort of cold-blooded reptile.
Oh, that's. No, I was not in. Are you a cold-blooded reptile?
I'm a person who has chosen to walk a certain path.
I've
It has
noticed
blood along it.
lots of it.
It spares others who are less. Others who do not deserve to have their hands spoiled from having to.
You make choices for people. You make choices and don't allow them to make their own. That is why I do not like you.
Well, I was hoping that a little game between acquaintances might help mend fences. But I
A
can see
game
that's
does not mend fences, Arvis. What mends fences is showing that you are trying. You think coming here and playing a game with me is going to make me go, oh, Arvis is such a good person. Look at him play chess. He's really good at it. I remember when we played it before. No. Arvis, how about you do something? You actually, I don't know. Get your hands dirty in a way that isn't so harmful to people. Show us that you mean to make amends. Instead of being a piece of trash.
Are you quite finished?
Am I finished? Lapis says yes.
One has to initiate communication to show difference, change, positive.
Valid.
So, since you don't seem too interested in having a little fun along the way, gestures at the board, then we'll just talk. You're going to have a visitor in a moment.
What kind of visitor?
Someone who shares a homeland with you. Garn?
Okay. Is this a visitor of your machinations, or do you just somehow know he's coming?
Vibrations on the web, let's call it.
You know, being candid goes a long way to fostering trust.
Fine, if you must know, I have a spy assigned to him. Does that make you feel better?
It actually makes me feel quite a bit better, yes. Do you see how this works? You give me information and I feel like I can trust you a little bit more. I'm not saying I trust you.
Now I've endangered you. Now if someone were to threaten you. You'd have something to give them instead of being innocent and being able to say that you don't have any true incriminating knowledge.
Office.
Yes, Doctor.
At the very least, I would say you know me. I am not one to give up anyone. I would die before giving up any information, unless it of course hurt the city, in which case that spy would be given up in moments.
Contrary to what you might imagine of me, I'm not particularly interested in forcing people to lie for me.
Keep your secrets post-spy, but if I ever know that you are keeping a secret that endangers myself, the group, or my city, I will not stop. I will come for your office, and no, you will not like it.
That is acceptable.
Good.
You hear a little rattling of armor and heavy steps coming up the stairs. He's almost here. Before I go, I have a message that I'd like you to pass on to Lena, if that's all right.
That is fine. I was going to tell everyone that you were here anyway.
Just 1:11. I'm ready to talk again.
All right. Office.
And the shade reaches out and makes a rising motion with his hands as he brings the fingers together. And the board drifts up and begins to close, and all the pieces pack themselves up inside of it as it snaps shut and falls down onto the table.
Turn to my cat real quick and I go, I count that as him forfeiting. It's my win.
Just, you're the one who didn't want to play, as he disappears. And he does disappear. There is a quiet moment. You have to yourself, although you do hear someone approaching your door.
Just take a few moments, kind of taking everything in that just happened. And then just loudly go, the door's open, gone.
The door swings on open, and in steps Garin Regis. He is wearing proper attire for a Knight of Sur. Robert, could you tell me what that looks like?
Yeah, so the Knights of Sur, they wear relatively pristine, kind of silver-looking armor. It's of course not silver. It's made out of steel, but it is generally polished so well that it just sheens like that, with golden embroidered kind of. Well, I shouldn't say embroidered. It's golden, hot welded or forged pieces of metal that are forming in the shape of a crescent, kind of like sun. It's almost as if like when the sun has the moon. What's the word I'm looking for?
Eclipsing?
Thank you. Eclipsing it, and it looks like a crescent moon, but it's still the sun kind of a thing. And a
Robert, just
long...
as an aside,
yes.
Thank you.
For what?
Continue.
Okay. And a long crimson cape.
Guard himself is fairly aged. He's beyond normal knightly years, and you know personally that he ceased being a knight due to an injury to his wrist. Now
Yes.
quite a photographer and a member of our lovely Valera City Council, although they didn't know he was a former Knight of Sewer when that happened, so... Doctor, well, can I still call you Tenebris? Is that allowed?
You call me whatever you want, Gan.
This is a bad time. I seem a little tense.
No, please come in. Just hearing your typical gait in armor that was so familiar to me put me on edge. Or do you think I knew it was you at the door?
Not a whole lot else would make sense for that, to be honest. I didn't knock yet. I was centering myself.
As you do.
And he sits down, but as he's going to sit down, he like kicks the pizza box and goes, D's. They're pretty good. Any left?
Check for yourself.
Lifts up the box lid on the ground, and he just is that little tiny bit of cheese, like where it got on the cut line, but that's it.
Sorry. Was expecting a guest.
He sits down. Legs splayed wide, and he puts one hand, the less armored, shouldered one, down on the table and says, Fallen, I don't know if you know, but our home might be in a little danger from this little city of us.
Oh, gone. Lord Rashais, I think you would find...
I haven't called that in a while.
I think you would find that it is not our home that is in danger from this city. Soaring is making mistakes. My uncle knows not what he does.
With all due respect, I think the Grand Arbiter probably knows what he's doing and is considering carefully with his advisors. But that's not quite what I'm here to talk about. They might be making gallant choices, daring ones, but as far as I'm able to tell, these cities tend to go there and impose on our lifestyle. And I've been away from home for a very long time, but I hope you can relate. My loyalties, they shift slowly. I don't want any bloodshed to come from this. I think if we stand firm with where we come from, we can avoid anything going untoward.
I will say, I do not intend to stand with Soaring nor the Knights. However, it does not mean that I intend to stand with someone or a place that would go to harm them. I still have family there.
You turn your back on your home?
My home turned its back on me. But no.
Do your loyalties really shift with the wind so quick?
I left 20 years ago. Gone. 21, actually. Do you consider that shifting with the wind? I left more than half a life ago. And I left because of how our people acted. However, as I was trying to say, I am not against our people. I still believe in them. That somewhere down deep, they can be reasonable. But I lived there, as you have. As I see you still do in your heart. Who know we can be stubborn people. Even when we're wrong. That is why I will not just side with Sur.
Collects himself inward. He was pretty relaxed before. He's moved much more to a defensive position. I thought we had a lot more in common than it seems we do, Tenebris.
I feel like you might think that we have less in common than we actually do. Again, stubbornness. It's a trait of our people.
Loyalty. Loyalty is too. Most of us.
I am loyal. Loyal to life itself. I will work hard as I can. Make sure all peoples can live. Not just
We're loyal
ours.
to life. We're loyal to light. Certainly we can find a way to work together on this.
And I'm not saying we can't. All I'm saying is, should our people pose a danger to that life, I will not stand with them.
You're acting like they're doing something horrible. Then he loosens up and maybe I don't understand for him. Do you know what exactly they're doing back there? I'm on a level. I got contacted by your uncle to reach out to you and a few others and try to be an advocate for Sur here. But I don't have all the details.
I have second-hand details. I'm not even sure if I trust where they come from. However, it makes sense. Baron Kolvax, you remember, used to control this city before the revolution.
Yeah.
The dark magic that he used. My uncle, from what I've heard, intends to use that fact to wage war. To stamp out the darkness. Which I can understand. However, this city, no matter how much is laying under the surface, is so full of life and light. Because there is some doesn't mean he should attack a peoples that are trying their hardest. I don't know that he really is, but if he is, I will not stand with him. That hard line is one of the reasons I left.
Well, maybe it's a good thing we're on our way. Get this all sorted out.
Yes, we will. And I apologize if my demeanor made it seem like I was antagonistic towards you. I'm not. I mean, you've always one of the less stubborn.
I think it's being away from there. You get inside the nexus of all those judgments. It can be hard to... It can erode your sense of the spectrum of light. Let's put it that way.
I won't argue that. At all.
He shifts a little bit. It makes me sad that I won't be able to rely on you should things turn bad.
Who said you won't be able to? I told you that there is nuance. If that nuance should land on your side, you will be able to rely on me. Not everything is black and white, Khan.
Fallen, there are two types of allies in this world. There are those that follow with the wind and are on your side when it favors them, but they're playing the odds the whole time. And then there are the friends who are there because you asked.
You're right.
Those are the kind of allies that I was hoping to find here.
Well then, I'm sorry to say, my allegiance lies here. I am that second type of ally, but not to a home. You might find that lacking something, but I have found a real family. And it is this city and its people. They are all wonderful.
Well, he stands up. I'm just gonna hope we don't end up on the other side of a battlefield.
Me too. Though you know, Gon, should you get injured, even if you're on the other side. Well, you've heard what happened before the revolution was over, haven't you? I won't just let you
What are you
die.
referring to? Yeah. All right. I got places to be. Have a nice night.
You as well. And Gon.
Yeah.
May the light be with you.
May the light of Sewer be with you too. And he makes his way out.
I don't even move. I let Lapis go close the door.
Yeah.
Because my cat is strong, can lift 10 pounds.
Ooh. Skelly cat, lift 10 pounds.
Hells yeah.
You're left alone in the apartment. What time passes? Is there anything that you do immediately?
Yeah, so the doctor's gonna just go sit on the couch, and he's gonna do that whole like and just like lean back, and then just realize no, and then just lean forward, just kind of like sit into his hands, and then he's gonna be like, and he's just gonna put his hands up. Then he's just gonna try laying down. I'm just really anxious now after all of that motion possible. Until finally, like, he's trying to just lay on his back, and then the cat just jumps on his chest and lays down, and he's like, oh, my cat has settled in. Well, fuck, now I can't move.
Guess I'm stuck here now.
Yeah.
This is where I live. As that's happening, you hear very light footsteps coming up the stairs, and the door opens quite abruptly as Lena bursts in, holding something in some sort of leather case in one hand, with there's an urgency in the way she moves. Let's put it that way. But that begs the question, like, what's Lena been up to, right? We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna roll back the tape a little bit. So when we picked up with Fallen, it was evening. Sun was going down. Lena, it's a little bit earlier. The sun's low in the sky. We're still soaring above the clouds, away from our little canyon home. But we have somewhere to be. We're going to visit a certain headmaster of the Amethyst Lyceum.
We're certainly gonna try.
Yeah. What's this? Yeah. Just gonna have a little lesson in history.
Perfect.
Yeah. You find yourself in the headmaster's room, his office. Person out front said he'd be back in a few. You are beset by a fairly well-appointed office, but it's just been inflicted upon by the clutter of an apothecary. Vials and potions and everything just on every possible surface. There's a locked closet, and then outside the closet on like a couple of the chairs you can see like jackets and ties and other like, oh, I have to look nice for this wear, just laying out. There's a little energy of like, might live in his office, maybe, not really sure. There's a very fat tied closed leather bound journal on top of the table, and you're just there waiting for a few. There's a clock that's loud enough to be heard.
Alright. How long have I been waiting? And how long did the person at the desk tell me it would be?
The person said it would be a few. Those are the words. It has been 3
Love
minutes.
that.
You can.
Oh.
It's very hard not to keep time with the clock present.
Yep, it's fine. If there's anything Lena has tons of, it's patience.
I sense a note of sarcasm.
Yeah, no, she's kind of like a bird trapped inside at all times. But I think she's trying very hard to be good and to make a good impression. Like, she's wearing clothes that are like fancier than she normally wears, and she's just like trying to sit like very still and proper and fancy. She's just like really determined to make a good first impression whenever this person decides to actually show up. So she's like really holding it in, but she's so fidgety and wants to like touch everything.
After a couple more minutes of mild fidgeting and clock watching, the door opens with a very light, a little squeal of the hinges, and this Professor Peleus Hawkfrost walks in. More together looking than you were expecting. Tweed jacket with elbow patches, very simple shirt. No tie, but he's got them around for when he needs to be nice. Oddly pointed ears. They're like a few inches long. Pretty atypical for Valerith. And big ass glasses. And one odd note, he has a fairly reasonably sized dueling sword strapped to his hip.
Respect.
Also a very large satchel which jingles lightly with the sound of potion bottles.
Ooh.
Apologies. I just got caught up in my last meeting. You are
Lena,
You have an
Elliot.
appointment. Lena.
Yes.
Lena, yes, you wanted to talk. Yes. And he sits down and steeples his fingers a little bit. He fidgets too, honestly. He almost acts like he's a little nervous just for this situation. Leans back, leans forward again. So my friend, the historian you want to talk to, he's a little, if I was being nice, I would say discerning. If I wasn't, I would say an asshole. He's not exactly always super interested in meeting with people.
Right.
So
I was hoping
what's
you'd
your
be
reason?
able to. I'm hoping that he has some information on a certain magical artifact that I'm doing research on.
You're going to have to be extremely more specific, please, Lena.
The Wand of Lorelei.
See, that's a problem. So, I can confirm that this person knows about the Wand of Lorelei, but let's just say that there's history there, so you should probably come bearing a gift.
Okay. Any suggestions?
Oh, absolutely. I have my customary option for whenever I have a question I need from him that he's not going to want to answer. And he opens up, puts a key in a drawer and unlocks the drawer and pulls out a small leather-bound case, with just big enough to hold 2 middle-sized vials of liquid. Same one we saw earlier with Falwyn present. He puts it on the table, the classic halfway across to offer to the other person.
What is it?
This is a particular, I call it a mutagen.
Oh.
It is specifically designed to bring out a side of the person of which is not normal for them. Effects vary with the person, but it is usually quite somewhat opposite to the normal behavior. He's a sad asshole. He likes to drink it to make himself happy for a bit.
Oh. And what do I give you in exchange for this?
Oh, nothing.
No offense meant, but rarely do strangers give things to me for free.
Lena Elliott, was it?
Yes.
I heard your name in the paper somewhere. Some sort of hero. Just to say that an up-and-comer like you would be someone who I would definitely like to owe me a favor for the future. No hostility intended. It's just the kind of need that I might have. My position here in the Lyceum is tenuous.
Right. Very well. So do you think that he would see me?
Just say you have some questions about some historical magical artifact. Say you have a mutagen. Offer it to him. Don't say what the item is until you're in the door and it's closed behind you.
Oh, he could. Okay, all right. Thank you.
That has 2 doses. You probably only need to offer him one. The other one is for let's call it sample widening. If you could find a use for it and report on the effects, it's like I said, it's very versatile depending on who you give it to. I would be very appreciative if you could tell me whoever takes it, what exactly happens to them.
All right. Okay. Sure. I'll see if it comes up. But thank you very much. I know that it's hard to get an audience with, so I do appreciate you helping me. It's really important I get some answers.
When you've been around as long as I have, you get this sense for things that are more important. This seemed more important.
It certainly feels that way to me. So,
Okay.
truly,
Be safe.
thank you.
And when he starts yelling about the downfall of humanity, like, just take it with a grain of salt. He's got a very low opinion of people.
You know, that's valid to a certain extent.
Right now, I have to pick a tie for my next meeting. You can just close the door on your way out.
All right. Yes. Thank you again. You've been very helpful. I appreciate it. And yeah, I will. Do I know where to find the historian?
Yeah, he actually has a retainered. He has a retainered dwelling in the Lyceum. He's just like one of the tall, isolated tower dorms.
Cool. It's like, yeah, I will go to there. I would like to go to there.
All right. You find yourself. It's actually very similar in construction to coming home. Steps. There's a lift if you need it. And it's just like it looks like it's just this floor and the next one a little abode.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Is there like a doorbell or something?
Absolutely not.
Is there like a big old-timey door knocker?
There was a knocker. Yeah, it has a lion etched into it.
Oh. Yeah.
As you go to lift the knocker, it seems it has been glued down.
This guy knows what's going on. Then I guess I will knock on the door with my hand. With my mechanical hand, so it's louder.
Oh, it's a little heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dong 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 dong.
Mm-hmm.
You hear you hear somebody kind of gag on their own saliva a little bit, as if they're waking up with their head fully open upwards, facing the sky, and then nothing.
Excuse me, is anybody home?
No response.
I don't mean to bother you, but I have something from Professor Hawkfrost.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom. Did you need something?
Yes, hello. My name is Lena. I have something from Professor Hawkfrost for you and was hoping you might be able to help me with the history of some magical items.
What is it? The thing from the professor.
It's a bottle of mutagen.
You're not gonna be long, right?
That depends entirely on you.
I'm not really big on lingering or small talk or...
Neither am I if it's all the same. I just need some answers.
Alright. And you hear 2 different locks. Unlock.
Oh, am I meant to open the door myself? Oh my god. Can I push the door open? Or
Yeah,
pull it
you
open?
can
or
totally...
whatever?
It doesn't open, it just unlocks. He doesn't open
Yeah.
the door for you.
That's-
What is this?
I love him.
You open the door and are mildly surprised to see the exact same layout as your flat. Opens up into a living room, but whereas yours had like a communal sitting area in a table, he has one olive green recliner with a table that like hangs over from the right, so you
Okay.
can like eat at it.
Mhm, mhm.
That's been shifted over to the side, and he's actually sitting somewhat forward with a cane. A very strong head of salt and pepper hair, no facial hair, a little wrinkled, somewhat aged, and similarly, abnormally long ears, although not as long as Hawkfrost.
Hello?
Now come in. There was nowhere else to sit.
Yeah, that's fine. I will stand like a small awkward bean.
He waves his cane in the air and the door closes abruptly.
Okay. Oh, here. And I'll hand him a bottle. One bottle.
I was wondering.
One bottle.
He takes it and looks at it, shakes a little bit, sees how the feet of it running down the side of the glass look, and then pockets it. All right. 5 minutes. What is it?
I have, oh god, all of a sudden there's like a time limit and Lena's mind is like racing. I have two things that I need to ask about that I'm hoping you might be able to help me with. The first is if you have any knowledge of, I don't know what it's called, another parallel realm, dimension, place that's
Which
dark.
one?
And there were more than one?
Yes. What is the dominant color? Have you been there? Do you have a picture?
No, and I'll take the necklace off and like hold my hand up. But somebody dear to me is stuck there.
He looks at it. He looks back at you.
They can stay here because of this sometimes. I don't know if you can tell based on that.
I'm really gonna need a visual description. He looks at the amulet, like this is probably some sort of anchor. I'm not magic, I just know a lot of stuff. Can you identify the magic in it?
I don't know anything about magic.
Oh, excellent. I'm already liking you more.
I don't...
Magic got us into this mess. I don't think it's gonna get us out.
Yeah, I don't trust it. That's why I'm here. It's dark.
Oh.
It's dangerous. I don't know. I've never been there. I just know that it's dark all the time.
It's dark and dangerous. Why didn't you say it was dark and dangerous? That's the realm of shattered light.
Okay. And do you...
Sometimes colloquially referred to as the Shadow Realm.
And do you know if somebody is stuck there, how do I get them back?
Well, ideally you don't get them stuck there because it was created as a prison for something really big and scary, and messing with it can let that thing out.
All right. Okay. All right. That's...
How did you even get them in there?
Made a wizard really angry.
Fucking wizards.
Yeah.
Lorelei all over again.
Funny you should mention that. This person who is trapped there sometimes also happens to have Lorelei's wand.
Oh, they're dead. They are so dead.
No, they're
in
not.
The Shadow Realm.
No, they're not in the Shadow
Lorelei's
Realm.
wand?
No, they're here.
But even if
they're
they're
here.
not.
No.
Okay, I should probably tell you a little bit about the fear of Taken. It's the big shadowy thing that we locked over in there. This thing is the realized incarnation of the fear of loss and of losing. It's complicated. Magic's bullshit, and they makes imagination real. If you're really, really good at magic, you can make really vague things real. Shitty magicians can make simple things real. Oh, fire! Oh, move this thing in the air. That doesn't take any imagination. Good magicians can make complicated, vague, infinitesimal things real, like the fear of a child losing and anything they care about and having nothing they can do to fix it. That thing that they're afraid of, that's what's in there. Lorelei made that real, and we locked it away because it was horrible. So your friend? They're dead. Or something like it.
But what if I could figure out how to keep them here all the time? Is that doable? Is that something...
If they're here still, that's not them. That's just some vestigial piece of this thing trying to invade where we are. You're gonna bring about the end of the world because you pissed off a wizard. Fucking wizards.
No, it can't. No, it's them. They're here. They're here, and I'm going to fix them so that this doesn't happen. How do I do that? How do I fix them?
So, how are they acting? Or the thing that was them? Do they have a name? That might help me grow mildly attached to them in this conversation.
Zake?
Okay, so this person, Z, he's still walking around doing human things, presumably?
Yeah, he seems the same.
Okay. So this thing, the fear of Taken, it doesn't know us. It doesn't act like us. It's the embodiment of fear of loss, right? It doesn't really know how to smile when you look at it and pretend to care for other people like other humans do. It is going to need to keep a piece of him behind so that it can know how to do that. So maybe he's not dead, like I said. Just mostly dead.
No, but... No, he cares, though. You said that this thing doesn't care. But...
Does your friend Z good at lying? Deception? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Well, this thing would be as well. everything it's told you has probably just been in its own selfish goals to try to find out what exactly you might be able to serve it. What exactly makes you tick? None of it's real. Life is just suffering, and then it's going to end because you let some horrible thing out of the shadow realm.
And there's nothing that I can do to get him back.
There's a few things. True wizards from time ago, they can make vague things real. Like, oh, bring back my friend who is mostly overtaken by this fear monster. So if you could find a really true wizard, you might be able to fix it. But they kind of got rid of them after they fucked up and made this thing. They don't really exist with the same frequency as they used to. Besides that, when imagination makes darkness, imagination also makes light. There was a similar idea on the opposite side. This it still pervades through some of our cultures, this concept of light and cleansing and all that bullshit. There's a few cultures that still have practices around it, and one of them, the Dawn, made this process that you could like imbue someone with solar holy bullshit, more magic trash. Anyway, that kind of process might be able to help him. Besides that, things that affect personality or other kind of behavioral stuff might be able to let him out for a little bit. Actually, he pulls that little mutagen. One of these, but this one's mine. They might be able to help your friend for a little bit. They only last a few hours.
Oh. All right.
He looks at the clock. There's one lone clock on the wall. It's the only wall decor. It's been 7 minutes. But you've been a good conversationalist. So it's okay, I guess.
So I hesitate to ask if all of this is true. Is there any point in trying to take the wand away from him? Does that...
Oh, that's a whole nother problem. The wand also holds the disembodied spirit of Lorelei, which will take over its users and bend them to her will over time. But that's like a separate issue that'll take much longer than this problem. There's a knock on the door and says, delivery for Mr. H? He just calls out, leave it at the door. Pizza.
Oh.
Could you actually grab that? They're probably down the hall by now.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll go to the door and open the door.
You go to the door, open it, and on the ground, with a little like check on the top, receipt, is a pizza from Dee's Pizzeria.
Oh. I'll take it inside.
He just holds out a hand.
Yeah, I'll hand it to him.
Takes the pizza box, puts it on the side table, opens it up, takes a slice, and is about to stuff a big bite into his mouth, and he goes, I don't have plates, but I'm supposed to offer you a piece. I really don't want to. I want all 8 of these, but I guess I could take a 7 hat this time because you're here.
Oh, no, by all means. Go nuts, I don't really have much of an...
And don't have to tell me twice. And he just takes the slice out and closes the box and uses the top of the box as a plate.
Yeah.
And
I'm probably not going to be able to do any of this, am I?
How much do you care? Because, like, people who really care or think they do, they can sometimes go a little bit above and beyond what you'd expect of them.
Yeah, I care more than... It's really all I care about right
And
now.
you've probably got a snowball's chance in hell.
That's really all
As
I
opposed
need.
to, before.
I kind of have the devil's luck sometimes. Sometimes.
So I could tell you like the whole like history story about how this happened, but I really don't feel like it. So if
I
you're really
don't think
insistent,
it's-
I could like go through like the mythology of this, but I really don't get the vibe that it's really something you care about. It's just a bunch of magic bullshit.
It's not really going to help. Although, one more question, if you don't mind. I know I've overstayed my welcome as it is.
Yeah.
So when he got sent there, part of me did too. Motions to arm. Would that do anything to me?
Well, probably not. Probably just be devoured and eaten by all the fauna of that place.
Good.
But,
Right. Oh.
however,
Oh.
there are quite a number of quite nefarious creatures of more constructed intelligence that make that place their home. If one of them found it and decided to do some profane ritual with a large piece of you, then yeah, there's probably nothing you could do to stop it. But that's like, I give that a 10% chance.
All right. I mean, chances are if they were going to do that, they would have done it already, right?
Well, maybe these things, they get locked away, they get extremely patient. They often wait for the perfect time to activate their machinations and schemes. Also, time runs a little differently there.
Right. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
For telling you your friend is an ironed out husk of a person. Really, you're going to thank me for that.
The devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Fucking humans.
Yeah, we're largely trash.
Glad someone can see it. All those fucking wizards.
Yeah, I have some strong words about wizards myself, but nothing else to be done about that, I guess.
You going to leave?
Yeah.
You're doing like the thing where people like start to move towards the door and they say small little like small talky things, but they don't just rip the band-aid off and walk out the door. Come on, out you go.
Bye. Maybe they'll see you again, but probably not, I guess.
Hopefully not. For your sake, I
I'm
hope you
just
don't have
gonna
another
leave.
person get eaten by a shadow monster.
Oh, yeah. I'll just skedaddle then.
As you skedaddle, the door locks behind you. And you find yourself with one dose of a mutagen and a whole lot of new knowledge.
I don't like any of it.
I didn't think you would.
I guess I'll just go home.
As you start heading home, we are going to zero in on a little detail once again from Fallwind's bit. That chessboard, that just appeared there? How'd that get there? What caused that? Well, Ro's gonna show us, but that'll be after break because we got some stuff to happen. And that's going to be midday when the sun is high above our heads, a little earlier on in our time. This all takes place in one day. Just going backwards.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the backwards
So
time.
stretch, drink some
Nathaniel.
liquids that
Some
are not
water.
caffeinated, unlike me.
Drink
And
some water.
Nathaniel.
Exercise the shadows.
What are you
from
doing,
within
Nathaniel?
Your soul.
Oh gosh.
Well, then bye guys.
Yeah, we'll be back
We'll be
very
back
soon,
in, like,
everybody.
soon.
Yeah.
And we're back. Oh, hey guys.
Hello.
Hi,
Greetings, Raiders.
Oh, look,
Thank
there's
you very
raiders.
much.
See ya.
Hello, KP. Thank you for sending
Yes.
raiders our way.
Thank you for the raid.
Yeah.
So nice to see
So
you
we just came back from break. We are doing individual stories today instead of everyone play all at once, which is something we've done once before. It's been pretty fun so far. Our boy Robert and Megan have gotten little stories, mostly talking about stuff that doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go into our dough heist with Ro.
Oh my!
yeah.
My only question is, was this Everett's idea?
You don't know.
We'll see.
You know it.
I think we'll find out.
So we're actually going to pick up in Starfall Spire, and unlike with Fallen, where it was just no one's here, this is busy. People are worried about something, but they're not really talking to Ro about it.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's what happens with these kind of issues. And Everett does actually come up and say hello. Yes. Ro?
Hi, Everett. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm a little worried for Ferris, but things are gonna be okay. I hope. So I actually have a plan. I have a plan. So when I've had friends who have been in this kind of trouble before, and what you do is you have to go to the people who are being the meanies and take something of theirs that they really care about, and then you can force them to stop being mean.
Wait, What? I don't think that's how people do things here.
Yeah, it's really so I've never done it, but like the people I traveled with, it was really common because they got in a lot of this kind of trouble. It always worked out. Although sometimes those people came back later and then they weren't so happy, but we can help her out. Oh, come on, Ferris is so nice, and she taught that knife stuff. We gotta show we can repay her.
Yeah, but I don't know too much about what's going on because people won't really tell me. Do you know more? Did you hear something?
Well, so and they didn't really want to worry me with the details, but I'm used to being left in the room. So I was listening at the door, and it's something about the pizzeria, and they did something to Ferris, and it's like gonna be a problem. I forget what the word for it is, but it's like a legal thing.
Okay. I don't know anything about legals, but I don't know if Ferris needs help. She promised to do anything she could to help protect me, so if this will help keep Ferris safe from this mean pizza person, then I guess we should do it.
Yeah. It's just our way of paying her back for being so cool all the time. She's the cool one.
Yeah. 'Cause I need to help her. She'd help me. Okay.
So
what do we do?
So we gotta be quiet. We gotta slip out the back of the window like Lena would, so no one notices we're gone.
Okay. I'll tell Tiny to distract them or something if they start looking for us.
And I took Lena's feather hook so we can get down really easily and back up.
Oh, but we're gonna have to put that back because she doesn't like it when I play with her toys.
That's okay. It's for a good purpose.
Okay.
All right.
This is the worst, and I love it. Why are we still letting this kid live with us?
I don't know. He's horrible. I love Everett.
Oh, I do too. He's so terrible.
All right. So what do you tell Tiny to get your little wolf sister to distract the party?
She'll be like, if they try to I don't know, go in my room looking for me or something, try and like go and bark a lot. Like maybe you see something that's not there and they'll all be distracted trying to find out what's going on. You know, like maybe one of those Doomba things is back. They won't know. All right. And then, yeah, okay. All right, Tiny, we're gonna do this to keep Ferris safe, okay? So you gotta do a really good job.
Oh.
Okay, and I just like lick Tiny across her snout and head over to the window with Everett.
And as you go to the window, Tiny's like, oh, like she wants to go with.
Be like, no, your part of the job is the most important. Otherwise, they're gonna know, and then it won't be a surprise for Ferris that we helped.
Oh.
Okay.
Spins around and then sits down, watching the door.
I start going out, and like as I go to the window, I turn around and look at Poppy in her Potter plate, and I just go, Poppy, you're in charge. Knock out. Forsooth. So good. Poppy's the best, Daisy.
Well, when you got nothing but time, you can work on your poetry.
Hands, really. And I think just for funsies, Ro will actually like scale down with Everett on the featherhook because they've never actually used it.
Excellent.
Like, let's see what the normal people do.
Yeah. The featherhook isn't actually that useful going down. Obviously, like it's a rope, but it's kind of really nice to get back up.
Nice. Well, then I just very recklessly slide down way too quick.
Yeah. As you go down, there's a moment where you see in the window into the living room where people are busy, and as they're doing that, you hear Tiny bark a couple times, very obnoxiously loudly, and everyone turns that direction as you go by.
I slide down. Just give Tiny like a thumbs up through the window.
Excellent. So you find yourself on the floor level. Sun is high in the sky. There's a brisk wind because you are high up. And you have to head to Dee's Pizzeria.
Okay.
All right. So, as you start making your way there, Everett seems a little like he's excited, going on an adventure, but he looks maybe a little nervous as you start getting to the busier parts of town where the pizzeria is. He's like, can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
And as you say that, you notice that he's frozen. No one else is moving. The wind has stopped. The city has stopped.
I just kind of look around and I'm like, what?
As you look around, you see a regrettably familiar visage behind you about 10 paces. This dark gray skeleton horned face and armor with a big ass scythe of Rolst, the knight that you met down in the catacombs.
Oh.
Cordelia.
Ro just like looks behind them. What?
I wanted to apologize for last time, and I've gotten you a gift. And he pulls out from behind him a bag of Mr. Batinga's Bakery marked donuts.
Thank you, but I don't understand.
Hold them out. I know things are confusing right now, but I'm just doing what must be done. And he tries to shake the bag a little, like, please take it.
I think Rose sort of like staring at him nervously, but they'll kind of inch forward mostly because they don't want to like also make him mad by not taking a present. But
Sure.
they are definitely very nervous, especially being alone right now. So they'll reach out and just sort of take it tentatively. Why do you need to do things? These things.
Look. I made I did the right thing, but it was the repercussions of bravery are sometimes more damning than the light of success. How are you? He kind of gestures to the donuts. Are you used to getting presents? If you had birthdays?
My pack just gave me some presents for my birthday.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
You can't actually see like the face properly move behind the mask, but you see a few ridges on the side of the face, side of the head move. That's Is this pack of yours? Are they nice to you?
Yeah, they're my family. They keep me safe, you know, from people to wanna hurt me. And they just sort of stare at him.
And he, as you're doing that, he kind of deflates at the word family. And then a moment later, after you pause, he winces in pain. Oh, not again.
Why does that happen?
Well, when you are bound to do a specific action and you resist, there are consequences.
You're supposed...
Hands are shaking a little bit.
You're supposed to be the one who does these sacrifice things.
You and her. Sorry, me and her.
Who's her?
I guess it wouldn't be incorrect to refer to her as my wife. She took to this business a little more zealously than I did.
Sake said you were punished for something when we were with you last time. What did you do?
I defied a direct command and helped you escape. Probably younger than you could remember. Sent you away from here. Helped you disappear.
What? Why?
And the scythe snaps into his hand again. I can't explain right now. And he drops to one knee and holds the scythe out to one side and is preparing to strike just like last time. You can see him resisting against it, but is very much resisting as hard as he can to let you take the first action. As the protagonist in combat, Sam,
Yep.
you get to act first.
Sure do. Jeez. I think Ro I'm like trying to decide what their sort of priority would be here.
You're just fighting a boss by yourself. I'm sure you can take
Right?
it.
I'm sure it's totally fine. I mean, their concern is everything seems frozen right now. They don't want to like leave Everett with this big scary guy.
And then they fight. Does Samurai Jack mean? Samurai Jack.
Shoot. Everything is still frozen in time, right?
Everything but him, you, and the donuts.
Okay. I think Rose's eyes will just sort of go wide and they will start waving their hand around again to do a cloud call and just sort of fill the area with fog so he can't see them.
All right. Does that impede his ability to actually stab you?
I believe... Let me double check for, like, the language. Yeah, creatures inside the fog cannot see beyond their reach, preventing them from making ranged attacks, though. So if he gets into melee, he'd be able to.
He's already pretty close to you. Are you sure that's the choice you want to make? And you've seen this guy can attack from... His reach is quite long.
Yeah. Shit. Then... Instead, I'm going to... Rose's gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna turn into my wolf form. Keep my normal self, because then I can still cast. So I'm gonna use my wolf evolution.
You wolf morph.
Yeah, I like drop down onto all fours, and there's a sort of reddish brown wolf, and Ro just sort of positions themselves between Rolst and Everett to just make sure that, Everett can't get like whacked by errant scythe energy.
Yeah. He spins the scythe to the point is outward, and with the point at the butt of it, just goes to stab you. Which is of course successful, and will stab you for 3 points of damage, burying it into your wolf shoulder, your wolder, as we like to say.
As a reaction, then I'm just gonna go ahead and cast Petrify on myself real quick, because I can do that as a reaction. And
what's that do?
That is the thing that I did last time that gave me that sort of bark skin for my purposes, at least. And it pretty much can absorb up to 10 points of like damage in a single whack. So it's gone immediately, but it just means like I don't take that damage. Because when I'm in this wolf form, Rose HP is shared. Like they don't get the tank buff.
So he goes to stab you, and actually the amalgam of stone comes out and just takes the strike. He says, "Good, Cordelia." Back to you.
I think Ro's gonna sort of like, I'm gonna go and try to bite at him. Just sort of being like, my name's Ro! He can't hear it because he's not in my party, so...
Give me an attack.
So he just hears like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," which is pretty much Ro's name in Wolf.
Arr, arr, arr.
Yeah, their full name is Arr, 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 Starfall. That is a fail with an 8.
8 is a mixed success, not a full fail.
Oh, snap. Okay, sweet.
So your option will be either, I think you can either do full damage and expose Everett, no longer covering him, or you can do 1 damage, half rounded down. Half damage, which rounds down.
Ro would want to do the half. Their goal is definitely to keep Everett safe.
Right. You nip him for 1 in the ankle. He spins the scythe up and just expels a dark, shadowy purple energy at you, and I need you to roll the die to avoid it.
That's a nat 20!
Hell yeah. So what this is going to do is going to hit you for a little damage, then let him warp behind you and stab you again. But instead, with a nat 20, I think you actually take advantage of it and get to a position where you can ambush him after he warps. So you're gonna get a free attack.
Huzzah! Do I just roll that now then?
Yep, right now. Whoop.
That's an 11.
That is another mixed success.
Okay.
So half damage, or I think he knocks you off your feet. You get him, but there's kind of a tumble, and you end up, spilling on the ground with your little wolfliness.
I think this time I'll go for the full damage.
All right, he's taking 4 now. He's bleeding.
I just got my wolf hackles up, snarling at him.
And that's your go again.
I will snap again. Like getting up, I shake my wolf head and I just sort of lunge at him.
All right.
Oh, but I miss with a 3.
All right, he's gonna It's gonna let him counterattack.
I'm sure this is fine.
With a fail and a success, so he's gonna get you for another 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Misses the first swipe, and stabbing into your side with the blade of the scythe with the second.
Just a little pain dog sound.
Oh. And he lets out a breath as he does that. He takes the scythe blade out. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I've got, like, anything different I want to try. I'm assuming his scythe is very magical, correct?
I mean, like, emanates dark purple auras as he swings it. I'm sure that's just normal for scythes. It's a trick of the light.
Blast. It'd be pretty cool if I could turn it into flowers. I'm waiting.
That would be
one
fun.
day. One day. Yeah, I'm gonna... Actually... Instead of, like, can I try to, like, knock him down? Like,
Sure.
Can I make that, like, as
what
my
effect,
attack?
What effect are you hoping to cause with that, is the question.
Mostly I just want to get him down so that I have an opportunity to maybe try to, like, wolf drag Everett away. Let's escape kind of thing.
I will say that he seems to be basically ignoring Everett.
Okay.
His eyes are entirely locked on you. That being said,
Alright.
you've been doing a pretty good job of getting in the way, so like that might not be coincidental.
Truth. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, they still want to, I think they want to try to get away from him. They have no idea how this weird time freezy thing works. So I think they're still
Sure.
going to want to try to do that, whether it works for real or not. Like,
All right, make me roll the die.
yeah. That's a 16.
A full success. So you send him on a spill and give him a point of damage.
Yeah, and I just sort of snarl at him again and start making my way to, like drag Everett.
As you are dragging Everett, and Everett is like a statue.
Yeah, that's
So
what
you
I'm
just
picturing.
with his position, his heels just drag. In fact, you find as you move him, you can't actually tip him over. He just stays oriented the same way and
neat.
drags. Yeah.
mean,
As that
yeah.
happens, there is a toll, a dong, like a boat coming in, or maybe a really old clock. He glances over his shoulder and he looks concerned, and says, "Do this quick." And he gets up and is going to attempt to slice for the neck. Okay, and that's a mixed success. So as he dives at you, I'm going to give you a choice here because it's fun that way. He can either hit you a little bit for 2 points of damage, or he can hit Everett for 2 points of damage.
Aw, sad. Oh, man. I mean, Ro would want to take it, but I kind of think the idea of Everett taking damage because Ro messed up is pretty juicy. So I'm gonna go ahead with that option for the drama.
All right, so he misses you, slices Everett in the neck for 2. And as that happens, Everett becomes physical. He able to move as he tumbles and falls onto the ground, blood spilling from his shoulder of what is a pretty deep wound, and he just looks about and goes, just that.
He can get the telepathic powers or whatever, and Ro will just be like, run back to the tower or something, get out of here.
He starts running. He runs away from the person, which is towards where you were going.
At scans.
Yep.
It's more than I gave him credit for, to be honest.
Rolst actually just at this point looks at what he's done, takes a very deep breath, stands up straight, lets go of the scythe and lets it dissipate into darkness. Says, "She's gonna be here soon. Run." Winces in pain again. You hear a crack in his neck as it happens.
I think Ro will actually pop sort of back into Ro form again and just be like, "What? Are you gonna be okay?"
"I'll be fine eventually." And he falls to his knees and is clutching at his neck. That toll of that clock toll goes off again, and he winds his head away from you. Go.
Okay. Thank you for answering me. And Ro just sort of spins and like runs away.
As you're running away, time returns and you see the crowd start to move around. There's a few gasps as this individual is just standing here now.
Oh, shit.
He's fallen to his knees, but through the crowd, you're able to spy a woman approach. She is in similar severe garb, but whereas he's like dark grays, blacks, and reds, her garb is more like steel grays and white. Her skin is this kind of grayed out blue, and her hair is very short and utilitarian. She draws one steel gray sword, flips it around, and just buries it into his neck as he dissipates into darkness. And then she turns to look in your direction, not at you, but at the crowd, which is now stopped in horror as she brandishes the sword forward and then sniffs. Fear. This direction. And as she walks, the crowd starts to part. I'm assuming you run?
Yeah, Rose, she will, from somewhere in the crowd, hear a kind of nervous, "Oh!" as Ro, like, makes a sort of scared howl and then takes off with my aspect of the wolf. That means I can outrun anything on land.
Excellent. You lose Ladell, as she's been called before, in the crowd, not without much difficulty, and actually managed to find your way to the pizzeria.
Oh yeah, well, I passed it that one time. Although I was very distracted.
Everett is stopped hyperventilating because running is something he knows how to do.
I'll make my way over and be like, "I'm so sorry, Everett. Are you okay? Let me look at that."
He has a gaping wound in his collarbone. You actually see that the bone is cut into by about a quarter inch.
All right, Rose just like their eyes are kind of watery, mostly just because they feel bad. Like it's not, the sight of the injury that's bothering them. It's just they know they messed that up. They're like, hold on, Everett, I can help. The doctor showed me this really neat trick, but it's gonna sting a little bit. And they start like rummaging around in that same pouch that the doctor gave them for their birthday. And they start like sticking stuff on him, and it will sort of glow with their magic light and start closing up.
Mend, hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that Meanie could do that.
That's amazing. You can just heal people?
I mean, not like just. The doctor had to kind of show me. I figured it out watching them, though. I don't think I do it quite the same way he does. Do you feel better now?
Takes little breaths and skids back to him. It's like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, that might scar. It'll look cool. That'll be good. Do we want to find important things? He looks at the pizzeria across the street.
Yeah, I think we should, cause we're gonna need all the help we can get. So if we can help Ferris, and then she won't have to worry about these meanies bothering her.
Yeah, we just need something like, in my experience, like somewhere there'll be a safe with like books or papers, and all that's probably really bad for other people to see. So we just have to find like that.
And that's important stuff, papers?
Yeah, you like adults, they think papers and stuff are important. It's really funny watching them sweat about it.
I know. Why don't they like worry about their food or something that matters?
I don't really get it entirely, although I do know that sometimes the papers and stuff inform the food.
Oh, okay. I don't know how that happens, but people in cities are weird, and I just like start walking around towards the pizza place.
Right, so you find yourself in the back of the pizza place. There's a back door.
Are there any windows?
It is propped. The back door is propped open with a brick.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Be like, have you ever been here before, Everett? Do you know where we should go? Just downstairs?
Okay, I might have scoped out the place a little bit. Like, apparently that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you know, in the comic books, like that's what the magpie did. So I was scoped out and looked and saw what was going on beforehand. So I did that because, you know, like you turn into animals and stuff, but like, you know, I gotta be good at something else.
Oh, okay, well, I think you're really good at it then.
All right, so I think if we go down in here, we just got to sneak past the kitchen and go downstairs, and there's like this office, and there's a really suspiciously slightly cocked to the side painting. Definitely a safe behind that.
Ooh, okay, yeah. I realize people like to, I don't know, move things to hide other things. Because Rose thinking about now the like mirror puzzle. Like people like to move stuff to make other things happen. I don't know why.
Excellent. You steal your way down. I'm gonna need you to roll the D6 as you sneak past the kitchen. They're pretty distracted.
Oh, that's a 1. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That is bad. So as you're going by, you and Everett, there's this woman who's running the part of the kitchen, and she has like leather gloves with little spikes on them and a bunch of spikes on one ear and a real side cut, and she yells something to someone next to her, but you can't hear because the kitchen's loud, and then she starts heading off your direction to check out what that was. But you get into the stairwell first.
Okay. Is there...
I think that lady saw us.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm gonna look around. Is there like a closet or anything to like hide in? Mostly for
There
Everett.
is a closet. There is a closet in this office. It is locked.
Oh shoot. So I don't know if I would have time.
You think you can pick a lock?
I can. I mean, I can turn into a rat, slide under the door, and open it from the other side, maybe. But I don't know if we have time for that.
That sounds like a good test of fate. You roll the die for those.
All right, yeah, I'll give that one a try. Let's do it. I'll just be like, hang on. Down into a rat, squeeze under the thing if I can.
Roll the die.
Come on, just the regular one, right? Not a D6.
Yeah, just D20. Yeah. Come on.
15.
That's a full success. You climb on under and unlock from the inside. It's very simple on the inside. And he jumps inside and closes it. It's dark and it kind of smells a little odd in here.
Does it smell like pizza?
No. It's like when you were underground and this lady comes in, looks around a little bit, pokes around, writes the painting, opens a couple drawers of the desk, and then like a video game guard who barely saw you kind of decides, it's probably nothing, and
Could have sworn I heard something.
Yeah, could have sworn I heard something. Must have been the wind. And she heads back up.
Shouldn't have come here.
And you're a rat still, right? Or did you turn into person so you could walk?
Yeah, so I'm person again.
All right. Everett goes. Ro?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do these look like skin? And he opens the door, and the light shines in, and you are hiding amongst like a row of like 5 flesh cloaks.
Would you describe them as flaccid, Nat?
They are flaccid flesh cloaks.
I think all of the color just sort of drains from Rose's face.
Well, we found the blackmail.
Yeah, we need to tell everybody. Rose, like, really grossed out and just sort of, like, they're actually gonna pull out, their, like, crappy knife from the Baron thing and, like, flip it over and just sort of, like, move some of them, be like, do I recognize anybody?
Do you recognize somebody? That's really weird when they're like hanging like this and the faces are like inverted on the inside. You don't really recognize any of the. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Cool. All right, so Rose just like making a face and is like, people are really weird, Everett. There's never anything like this in my forest.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we need to tell the others. You have to be really quiet though, because now they really can't hear us and know we were here.
Or we could just run really, really fast because they're terrifying.
Okay, I mean, that works too. Wait, I'm gonna make sure that I lock the door again, like when we exit it, to close it. We're just gonna be like, okay, I don't know. Do we still need something to show people? Will they believe us?
They'll believe you. They love you.
Oh, I hope they'll believe us. Okay, but we have to try. We have to tell them before these people can hurt us.
He looks around and goes, well, maybe this will help me. Opens the 3rd drawer on the desk and pulls out a box.
Sure, I don't know. Is it a lockbox?
It is medium-sized. It's closed.
Okay. Can I open
it? He just and as you open it, you can find out it is locked.
I'll be like, okay. Well, then it's got to be important, right? People put important things in locked stuff like that, and I point at the closet. Like, okay, we need to go though because this means that the people here are working with that person that just hurt you, so we need to go before they know that we're here. And Rose just sort of starting to like hop up and down from one foot to the other, like anxiously.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna cast Wolf of the Aspect again so that Everett is included because I can do that for up to 6 people or something, and then the both of us.
And
can
you get
book
the
it.
hell out of there.
Yes.
You just bundle past like the wind. There is a little bit of like, what was that in the kitchen? It's like you're always hearing things. And you make your way out. And I don't think there's any other issues for the rest of your bit. You get back just fine. Everett seems a little less spooked than you might expect, considering you just got attacked by like some skull knight and then found skin suits in someone's closet. Yeah. It's been a day.
Right? I mean, he's been living with us for a while, though. I think he might be kind of used to not this level of shit, but like weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
We've been attacked like 3 times since he moved in.
And as you're climbing back into the tower, that's where we're going to leave that story, because we see Zake coming back. I wonder what was Zake up to. Let's find out. So we now back to the morning. At this point, the city is back in the foggy canyon. The long shadows of the morning sun casting upon Starfall Spire. And Zake, you have mail.
Do I now, Nat? And what,
Yeah.
pray tell, is within the mail?
There is a piece of mail addressed to you. If you open it, it is from one Emissary Theodora daughter.
Sure.
Asking for a meeting at your earliest convenience.
Oh, this is not good news. But
Diplomat
obviously...
from the Knights of Sewer. Also, rumble, cannon fires back.
Yeah, no. For Nuno, this is not good news, but for Zake, this is fine.
Yeah.
Interesting. So kind of stands there for a second, studies, and pockets the letter, and goes back to, I assume, where they came from, because it was earlier that morning that they were near the place where the emissary was staying, right?
Yeah, I was in Crown Tower. They're given
Yes.
the organizational administrative tower in the center of the city.
Exactly. So yeah, whenever the meeting is due, he'd make his way to Crown Tower.
This is just the time was just at your earliest convenience, but like the wording made it seem like it was something to be done post haste.
Yeah. And that's what Zeke does as well. Must be important. And who knows who else will be in the room? Maybe no one. For no reason.
As you approach Crown Tower, just on the steps outside, a woman approaches you. She has a fedora and a writing pad, and she just walks right up to you as if like she was ordering coffee, for instance, and goes, "Zake? No last
yes.
name listed. Is that correct?"
Probably, yeah.
And Baron. She reaches out a hand.
Shakes her hand. Well, pleasure to meet you, Anne.
Journalist and editor for the Valerian Sun. I was hoping we could get a comment from you for an upcoming piece. Are you interested?
Well, I am in quite a hurry now. If you make it fast, of course. If not, then I'm afraid I shall have to take my leave.
I just have a little scoop on a potential, let's say, inappropriate relationship within our administrative system. And I was wondering if you, being close to one of the potential individuals, might have comments. Observed any abnormal behavior? Can I step to the side for a moment?
Well, of course. I mean, I don't have much comments. But what could you be talking about? I'm not sure.
Kind of pulls you around the side of the steps and goes, so, in the shadows, out of sight. So, sources have indicated there might be an inappropriate relationship going on between one Ferris Munir and our council member Alika Saidu. Would you happen to know anything about that?
I know of a relationship, but I'm not sure it's inappropriate. They are both working together towards the betterment of this city, of our city.
That's very she doesn't even write that down. She's like, that's that's so blasé.
How hidden are we, Nat?
Pretty hidden. It's like early morning. No one's really on the Crown Tower right now. And she pulled you, into a secluded spot, so someone passing by wouldn't see.
Yeah. And Zeke will then see her reaction and continue. That's, of course, what I would say as an official source, but perhaps if you scratch my name, I might have... And kind of hushes his tone a little bit to make it hard for them to be heard. I might have additional comments.
Off the record, really?
Yeah. Would you be interested?
Of course. And she writes turns the page in Notepad, writes at the top of this thing, anonymous source, and leans
Kind
in.
of leans in slightly closer. Come here. And almost like whispering in her ear. And banishes her to the Shadow Realm.
She just gets... she gets kite-bud.
Yeah.
There is just a small gasp in the air left as she disappears entirely. Her notepad falls to the ground. Pen does not.
Pen does not? Zeke looks around, grabs the pen and the notebook, pockets them.
Rumble, rumble.
Looks around a bit more, straightens their shoulder pad. All right, let's start today then. And walks inside.
Heads on up, just a little. Everything's fine. Everything is all right. Nothing is wrong. As you head in to meet Theodora, the emissary from Soaring. It is a decent way up the Crown Tower. It's got that Guggenheim spiral, and it's one of those doors that is definitely bigger on the inside than the outside. There's a fancy knocker that at one point was sculpted to look like that of a skull, but has had amendments added on top, so it looks like a person's face. That it's definitely not a skull, but just a little janky now.
Nice. And there's
Volvax had a certain style that doesn't always agree with Valeris.
Fair, yeah. Figured as much. Is anyone around, or just a door there?
Just the door. You know it's the right place because the letter told you what the door was.
Okay. Kind of looks around, finds it slightly disturbing that no one is making sure nothing happens to this very important emissary, and knocks on the door.
But I should clarify. It's a big open air spiral, so there are people around.
Oh, okay, there are people around.
But there's not someone on the door, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, that's better. In that case, just knock, knock.
The door opens, and we see opening the door is Emissary Theodora. She has robes that are accented with that silvery steel armor and crescent motifs that we saw on Garn. But definitely this is to look good for diplomatic purposes. This isn't to look good while smiting your enemies.
Which is extremely useful, so Zeke will quickly make a mental scan of the style of the diplomatic garbs of Sur.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as that is done in half a second, I believe...
She smiles, says,
you were waiting for me, yes?
No, absolutely. Please, come in.
Thank you.
Close the door.
I do. Close this door behind him.
Inside is just a little 2-room appointment, the main room of which has a nice little sitting area. Funnily enough, there's a chessboard, and next to it, a pizza box of Dee's Pizzeria.
Both things are terrible. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. And she just sits down on one. There's a love seat and a standalone chair, and she sits on the standalone chair. Just for you to come down.
Okay. Walks up. So, there I was, making making my way back to my abode, and I find myself reading this letter. Kind of flashes the letter that she sent. And I thought to myself, what could an emissary that should be, by all means, currently negotiating with the officials of this city want with someone that is completely unaffiliated with them?
That's a reasonable question to have. I just caught word, and trust me, I'm very good at listening, that you might be a prominent public figure whose support would be very useful.
Huh.
I'm here to offer Valerith an opportunity for repairs and positive diplomatic relations with Soaring. I know your city is damaged and currently rumble pinned in place by opposing forces. And I just was hoping that we could get you and your populace to a better place and get us, you representing the city and me representing my people, to a healthier place along with it.
If you are as knowledgeable as you claim to be, then you do know that, in fact, my opinion is well regarded within the high-ranking officials of the city, but that does not mean that they will outright listen to me. I am known for knowing how to talk, having decent, measured ideas, but that doesn't mean I will hold any power. I hope you know that.
I'm aware of the limitations of your station, lacking one, that is. However, with the movements we already have in place, you would probably clinch out any decisions that need to be made.
Perhaps. I assume this is now the part where you tell me your intentions and how that would benefit the city and our relationship, yes?
I believe I already did that. My intention is to give Valerith a place to repair.
Yes.
And hopefully we can heal on the back of that olive branch.
Look, I'm having a hard time believing that is the only thing happening here. There is no direct conflict with Sir between us and you. There is nothing that has proven to be hostile between the two forces, unless you know of something else that I'm not aware of. And I find this offer just a tad too generous, especially when we are rumble in such a predicament.
You let on less than you know, Zeke. You know that there are storm clouds pushing here and Suravane at odds. There have been actions taken not by you, but by more concerning foes. We want you as allies, not enemies. And frankly, many people back home are worried that Valerith is going to come across the hill, weapons blazing, and I would really hope we could avoid that assumption and get to a place where we are engaging diplomatically.
Good. Okay. So am I to
Not to
assume
mention-
we can... Oh, by
Not
all
to
means,
mention,
finish.
there is a non-minimal benefit of having given your populace a place of refuge after this tumultuous time. Public support is important, and I'm not above being transparent about that.
All right. Well, it seems that we are here to discuss in much more open honesty than I would expect, and that is good. I do like my fair share of deception, but I think in times like this, perhaps it's better if we just speak openly. Kind of walks over to where the chessboard is and starts picking up the pieces. You're a fan?
It's fun. Really more of a vocation expectation than a personal pleasure.
I know someone that's quite keen on this little shenanigan. Kind of just scan her reaction for any sign of recognition.
Your friend the doctor? Or, as we might call him, Tenebris. Bit of reputation back home.
Yes, indeed. We have grown quite close, I'd say. But alas, I do not feel that is important here. Unless, of course, the return of the doctor to Sir, if we do eventually end going back for repairs, is a problem. Is it?
I don't imagine the doctor will get the warmest of receptions upon return, but there will be those who will be glad to see him. Besides, I think his uncle would like words. Too proud to say it openly, though. I should mention his uncle is Grand Arbiter, kind of an important person. Best not to anger him, if avoidable.
Oh, that is good to know. All right, look, Ambassador, I like what I'm hearing. I think you can have... I'll consider it, but I think, in all honesty, you might be the best bet we have at the moment. I'm not going to lie about it, since you are being honest about it as well. But he starts making his way step by step towards her. But I am
As you've gotten up, she stands up, almost like, yes, time to shake hands on this accord.
Yeah. But I must insist in one more question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Have you ever felt like there was nothing that could bring what you wanted back? Almost as if you had lost touch with something, had lost something so irreversibly so that it was gone forever.
She turns and looks out the window. Away from you. That's a little personal.
Is that a yes?
Turns back. Yes.
Good. Swiftly reaches into his back, unclasps the wands. That's all I wanted to know.
So actually, this time it looks different. You invoke the magic just the same, but the bolt of darkness comes out from that wand and strikes her in the sternum. She crumples for a moment, still standing but down. And then her eyes come back open, and you see the darkness with pits of bright orange. Of course.
Good.
Glad we could have come to an accord.
Me too. And I believe we have a lot to do once we arrive in Sur.
We'll get the city to Soaring as intended.
Wonderful. I shall take my leave now. And
As you walk out, you just head on out. You did your diplomatic duty.
easy.
Everything's fine. And actually, surprisingly quickly, as you're leaving, a few minutes later, you notice that the rumbling is different. The city isn't getting impacted. It's passing past the city and crashing out of the floor, and the city begins to rise out of the fog. Huh. However, also as you're leaving, just up around Crown Tower, there's a woman. She has a leather jacket and these spiky ear piercings and leather gloves with spiky spikes on them at the knuckles. A shock of side cut hair, and she is holding a pizza and walking into Crown Tower.
Excuse me, where are you going with that?
I just have a delivery for the Vanguard. Don't worry. Oh. And we're gonna cut there.
Lovely.
Eris Munir.
Hey.
Can we make this godforsaken mess make sense? We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. So this starts back in back by Starfall Spire, where you have, with the group, captured Jax, this hapless sentry in this mercenary corps. And you are walking him back towards Crown Tower to be a proper political prisoner, because he's agreed to cooperate. You know, you're not gonna mistreat the person. And for reasons that I don't feel like getting into, you're doing that by yourself. Everyone else had things to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Fear.
Jax's arms are bound, but he's pretty casual about it. He's just walking.
Yeah.
You don't even have to like push him along. He's just going along. Rumble, rumble. It's a nice place.
Yeah, it is now. Hopefully, it won't get leveled anytime soon.
Hope not. Be awfully surprising. You walk past Arvis's burned down estate on your way to Crown Tower.
Sorry, my goddamn internet connection.
Yeah. You walk past Arvis's burned down estate, the Von Cast estate, on the way to Crown Tower. He doesn't know it's important, but it's kind of like looking, just like is there a fire recently? Everything okay?
Something like that. Farah sort of goes stiff when she walks past the old estate.
And
something that needs to be dealt with.
As you get stiff and kind of look away from it, you spy a little critter flying through the air. This is an owl, which is really weird timing, and it's accented with blue. Its eyes almost glowing blue, and has it accented in a couple of its feathers throughout. And it's carrying something like a tube, and it's flying dead at you, silent, because owl.
She like instinctively reaches for the spear, even though she can probably tell this thing isn't about to attack her. But it's just like
the thing.
Too many weird things have happened to me recently sort of reaction.
Sure. And the thing swells right over you and drops the tube, so it impacts just midsection. And if you could catch it, that's allowed.
Yeah, she'll catch it. Thank you. Why am I thanking
Jax
the owl?
is looking away like he doesn't want you to ask him about it.
You know something about this?
I guess I'm supposed to be truthful about it, right?
That would be useful.
That's the familiar of our leader, Kanan. Yeah.
Okay, I shall open it.
Very smart little bugger. Okay, so you open it up, and it says, please let me explain. Meet me at the Maw of the Beast, J.
Do I know what the Maw of the Beast is?
Yeah, that's a local colloquialism with the Sombermore Canyon. The fog comes out in almost breath-like puffs from this cave at one end of the canyon. It's referred to as the Maw of the Beast.
Okay. Faris already went stiff when they went past the mansion,
Rumble.
but she's just like her hand just grips it so tightly. She'll just stuff it in her pocket and keep going with Jax for now.
Good news? Bad news?
I don't know yet.
You're very hard
I'm
to
assuming
read.
bad. Thank you.
It's like, okay, walks, and you get to Crown Tower, and dump him off with people who
Actually,
are meant to deal with these things.
A little bit later on the way,
Sure.
she will ask, have you spent much time with Kanan?
Oh, I'm pretty far down the chain, all things considered. It does, important people don't do sentry duty. But in the Golden Gear, I'm, been around a while. I know people who know people who know people.
How long has Kanan been there?
Oh, not so long. Got hired on. Those things where they, like, headhunt outside of company.
How long?
It's kind of serendipitous. We found him right as a vacancy got opened up.
That seems incredibly lucky. How long has he been with you?
Oh, year? Less?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Is there anything that might be useful to know about him, given our current situation?
If I knew it was in the letter, I might be able to tell you. He seems painfully curious.
I think he wants to meet with me.
That's weird. He's currently attacking the city you're in charge of militarily.
Mm-hmm.
Like a parlay?
I'm not sure. That. You bastard. I'm not sure. He didn't specify.
Well, I would, oh, he's not a liar. If he's asked you to come off, like, for meeting, he's not going to use that to, like, stab you in the back. It's not his style. He's going to beat you. He's going to let you know about it ahead of time.
That's useful, thank you. And she will take Jax to Crown Tower and make sure he is well treated. But we'll also
put him in one of their locking diplomatic suites.
Yeah. It's like Pawnee versus Eagleton Prison. He's in the Eagleton Prison.
Oh.
While she's there, she is going to inquire after Alika and see if she can find her. She has information to give
she's
after
out.
all. Is there who's around that she can speak to, like any of the council members or anything?
Mm-hmm. Gotta swallow this pizza.
Your skin suit pizza.
Oh no!
No, it looked like cheese.
Trade coordinator GL is in Garn is off doing something. Hawkfrost is off in the Lyceum, taking meetings and stuff, and Alika is out dealing with a potential security breach in the Julep district, is the description.
Okay. GL, do you know when Alika might be back?
Oh. Probably in an hour or two.
I've got something I need to go and deal with, but when she gets back, can you tell her I need to speak with her? It's important.
Of course.
And she'll also sort of pass on some of the information that Jax gave them. Not everything, but the stuff about like
the part about how
why the mercenary group are here, and
nothing
she will not
about
mention
how the appointed vanguard without due process might have killed their family.
Yeah,
Nothing
not that
about that?
part. Not that part, but the stuff before that about how like the mercenary group are here sort of like to collect on the bounty and they're holding them here until reinforcements arrive. That important stuff.
Yeah, I can play messenger for you, Vanguard.
There's no need to be pissy with me. She's not here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Anyway, I'll leave you to your duties.
All right.
And she will leave, I'm assuming she needs to get on, I need to get on a gondola or something to get to the mall.
But you saw some NPC teach Zeka to do it. She could probably fly one.
Yeah.
It's about feeling, remember?
She has lots of those. However, like, when she reaches the outside of the tower, she does hesitate and sort of like stands there for a little while, running her fingers over the scar on her mouth, and just looks at the letter again and sort of rereads it.
Looking at it again, you notice on the back it says, "Come along."
Of course it does. This might be something incredibly stupid. And then makes her way towards the gondolas.
All right, so you go down to the hangs. You requisition a gondola as Vanguard of Valerith. You can do that. Mm-hmm. They're public use. There's a driver who you convinced to let you have it without them, which isn't that hard. And as he's going, he turns and goes, "So do you know how to move one of these things?"
Loosely? Got any tips?
Just start gentle and then ramp it up if you need more juice. You don't want to start with the most intense thing because you might end up crashing into the side of a tower.
Makes sense. I heard it's about feeling.
Oh, yeah, I figured you knew that part.
Cool, okay.
Anyway, he goes off with a coworker and is like, "You thinking pizza?" Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that new place opened up. She gets into the gondola.
D's, it's really good.
Check it out.
All right. So you're at the gondola helm, which is like a sphere of wood, and you have to emotion at it. What emotion do you start with?
Ooh. Can fear pilot a gondola?
Fear can pilot a gondola.
I'll also add that
pepperoni pizza.
pepperoni pizza. I will also, as I get onto the gondola, the shield shimmers around Faris, and her spear just like begins to glow on her back. She's not going into this assuming that everything is fine, basically.
And you're lucky with the fog. No, it'd be very unlikely for someone from Valer seeing their vanguard head out in the middle of spook.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of an attack. So you focus on the fear of the situation, and the gun like shivers, but doesn't actually properly move yet. What you got next in the chamber?
Come on. Well, anger might make it crash into the side of the building. I guess the initial feeling is of like fear and anger and resentment, but then beneath that there is also like this longing and like kinship with this person that she tries to focus on.
Right. That gets it to move. It comes off the dock. The ropes come in, but you realize that as you're going, you're actually losing altitude, kind of aggressively quickly.
Oh, then the anger comes right back.
and anger, always the most pointed of emotions, levels that thing out. But anger's hard to sustain if you're not Negazake. So after you get going, after you get going, you actually have in a situation where you're like trying to be angry when you're not quite, and it's really hard.
Think about Alika and how she's doing this for Alika because she wants to help Alika.
Another very pointed emotion, and one that's a little easier to sustain as you stable out and fly towards, as the locals call it, the maw of the beast. As you get closer to the cave in these bursts, almost like breaths of a giant is how it's described. Like it's entirely impossible to see. You can't see your hand 3 inches from your face when it's thickest.
She's still on full alert. It's that like soldier's instinct that's been trained into her.
You dock the gondola. There's a little strip of rocky ground in front of the cave mouth itself. And as you're waiting there, you see that owl swoop in. And there's a breath from the cave, and everything gets entirely clouded. And as it fades, you see a familiar face. You see one instantly recognizable as Janan, a mentor, someone who believed in you. What you can see with your experience is a pretty solid but simple disguise. She is a little apprehensive, but you can detect notes of excitement in this conversation. She has a spear and simple armor, nothing like the Solari garb that you're currently still wearing, but definitely formed to be of the same function.
Faris will draw her spear as she gets off the gondola. Thought it might be you.
Glad you came.
What the fuck are you doing?
Sometimes, when you focus on how bright the light is, you miss the shadows forming behind them.
It's gonna be one of those conversations, I see.
Look, Fine. You wanna have that conversation? I left. Not too long after you did.
You did?
Yeah. What they did to you was horrifying.
I'm sorry, I didn't think. I thought you were still with them.
No.
Thank you.
She looks up at the owl perched on her shoulder. Says, besides, not everything's light, and she nuzzles the owl. And not everything's so black and white when you're out in the real world.
So, did you know what the Radiant was doing? Or was that a surprise to you too?
It was a surprise to me at the time. I didn't know what exactly was happening, but really it was when they started saying what you did after you left. They started things I knew weren't true. They said that you were the reason your parents were not around anymore.
Yeah, we spoke to one of your sentries. He may have mentioned something along those lines. Do you know what happened to Naima and Camille?
I think Camille's still back there, but Naima went missing about
What?
a bit. They said that you did it. I know that's not true, though.
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh my god, and I've just been here thinking I could just wait until the right time to go and find them.
If it makes you feel any better, I think she left. Like I did.
She's 12, where would she go?
Well, think about what you were doing at 12. It's not too far off.
But... She genuinely is, like, just completely distressed, and there's, like, tears forming in her eyes.
That's not why I'm here, though.
Okay. Why are you here?
Mercenary company got a tip from a benefactor who'd like to stay anonymous, knew you'd be here, knew that we could pin you in place. We haven't been hired to collect a bounty, been hired to help you escape. Empire thinks you're pinned in place right now. As soon as we slide our aim a little bit off target, you can slip out. We keep bombarding, they think you're still in there.
Okay. You didn't think you could send the owl ahead of time?
I did. I couldn't find you until recently. The thing's not okay, it is magic, but it's not that kind of magic. It thinks you were underground.
Oh, well, I was for a little while.
You had a tight timeline. You know how these things are.
Yeah.
Look, this person who paid us, though, they're pretty shady. So keep your eyes up.
Do you know anything about them?
Didn't give me a name, kind of by design, but stuff about said things about storm clouds gathering, and
Oh yeah, that
spoke in
sounds
a
like
really
him.
spooky voice.
Sounds like him.
He's helping you, whoever he is.
What's he doing? Okay. Well,
It's another breath of fog obscuring your vision.
and what are you gonna do after this? Are you staying with them?
Well, we're supposed to keep bombardment up for 2 more days while you get the hell out of here, and then we're gonna just slip back into the woods and try to lose them because they're not gonna be happy with us.
We have one of your sentries.
Oh, that's what happened to Jax.
We needed information.
No, it'll be good. We have a way to contact him. It'll keep us in contact.
We want to stay in contact.
One last thing. Like I said, when you are out here in the real world, it's easier to see the shades of gray in the light. Back home, they've kind of forgotten what that looks like. But there's someone who wants to meet you, someone who left a lot longer ago than you did.
I thought Solari didn't leave. That's why I was so surprised to hear that you had. I was told that what happened to me was an outlier. Not that I left of my own accord, of course.
No. How are you still wearing that armor, though? Are you like Vanguard now?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think I told myself it was just because I needed armor and I didn't have money to buy new armor, but I don't know.
Well, a couple days out, there will be on the mountain street leading up to Sura. This is where I'm told you're going to be heading. There's a cave. At the very first light of the sun at dawn, it glows. That's what I was told. She'll be waiting for you there. You should wear your armor.
Who is she?
I only know her title, The Dawn.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Was she dead?
No. Apparently not.
Somehow I feel like I'm walking straight into a trap.
I don't think so. I'm sure you know the stories, founded the Solari transformation.
Yeah, you
The
told
thing
me
they don't
that.
tell you is that she didn't die. She left because she didn't like the direction they were moving in.
Relatable. Oh.
Yeah.
I Can you? so weird. I thought about
What is it?
I would ask you so many times, and now there's so much I don't know what to do.
The owl takes it at one of its feet and just kind of kicks her in the ear, which seems to be some sort of signal. Running out of time. Better make it quick.
Oh. Can you tell me anything else about what they're saying about me back home in Shamsara?
Traitor, child murderer, parent murderer, general horrible person. It's public knowledge. It's what everyone thinks in the streets. Your name people spit.
Great.
I also know that I couldn't easily stop it, but one of the individuals was reached out to by your paper, believe it or not, in the mercenary company. So I think that scoop will be dropping soon.
Fuck.
It's not true. You just have to convince them it's not true. But
And
someone
how
really
am
has
I
it out for
going
you.
to do that when every single Solari will say otherwise?
Well, maybe you have to show them that every single Solari isn't necessarily too trustworthy. I have to go. I hope we can talk again.
I miss you.
I missed you too. That another one more breath comes out of the fog.
If
And
you
as it clears,
hear anything about Naima,
she's gone.
Varys just stays there for a while. Kind of lets herself silently cry where no one can see her or ever know.
Maybe.
Before eventually heading back to the city.
As you head back to the city, it's been plenty long enough to imagine Alika's probably back.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you head? Back to Crown Tower?
Yeah, I guess so. Tries to kind of steel herself and pull herself together, makes sure there's no, like, tear stains on her face, because you can't be shown to be emotional and weak when you're the vanguard.
Like, fuck that narrative. Alright, you get back. You don't have too much difficulty docking the gondola. You're full of feelings.
Yeah.
I realize we've kind of set it up where like the gondola drivers are just like really emotional people.
Why do you
Really
think
say them?
Bill was so?
All right. As you land and head back up to one of the lifts, approach Crown Tower into the grand opening space. There's a pretty rudimentary council room, and they have tables. And Alika and GL and are both there. Some
Alika.
Yeah.
How was the situation? Jill said you were dealing with something.
handled. Actually, I'd like to talk to you for a minute, if that's okay.
I needed to talk to you too, so.
As that happens, you hear some footsteps entering the building. You look behind, and the clump of a very tall combat boot, leather jacket, spiky ear piercings, spiky leather gloves, holding a pizza, and she just looks and says, "I got a pizza for Vanguard Ferris Munir."
I didn't order a pizza?
Is that you?
yes, but I didn't.
Okay. She hands it to you. Do you take it?
I feel like I shouldn't. Sorry, we're in the middle of some council business. Is this like a prank or something? I didn't order anything.
As she kind of pushes it into you, she just leans over, lifts up the front, and says, and you see legal paperwork, and says, "You've been served. You're being sued for the wrongful death of criminal negligence of one Lord Darnau." And she turns around and walks out.
Faris looks at Alika. What?
We barely
Is
have a legal
this-
system. Is that a thing?
This is the weirdest way to do this, and also, what?
And that's where we're gonna cut for the second.
The fuck, Nat?
Wait.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Listen.
Seriously? What the fuck?
Listen,
What?
I
Excuse me?
appreciated you using the exact tactic that they use because they can't serve you without you acknowledging that it's you. So I appreciate that.
That is like a legit thing that service
But what the
processors need
fuck,
to do
Nat?
Sometimes. Oh my god.
Inside
Pizza's the protagonist.
pizza?
Antagonist.
Was
was
there
a-
actually also a pizza?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No.
It was a,
You
sup-
at least
it was
Oh.
a subpoena.
Oh.
It was a pizza box of lies.
Pizza.
A pizza box of lies.
Sup-
So it was Malachar.
Malachar is
Subpoenas.
a pizza, confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. And everyone
just-
is Malachar, so everyone is pizza?
Should have just shadow realmed the pizza woman
Yeah.
before this happened.
You should have.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, that would have
So-
been great.
So, where does that leave us now after all of that?
Yeah, where does
Faris
that,
is
where
having
does
a
that
really
leave us
bad
now?
day.
I think
There's
think-
a horrible, awful
Double,
day.
double,
Very bad day.
I think
So-
there's only one person that's had a good day, and it was Wake.
Yeah,
So
Wake ate
Ferris-
twice.
True. He fulfilled his
But-
quota. I mean,
Totally.
Yeah. Bound to get a promotion.
On learned about her rep and then got sued. And I was hoping to get a convo with Alika in as well beforehand, but time-wise, that'll be next week. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. And Zake shut around a couple people and got the city moving towards Suravane. Ro had some hijinks, almost died to Rolst, and learned something important about the pizzeria.
They serve
And
subpoenas.
They serve subpoenas.
it's Ursavinos, yeah.
And then at the
Fucking penis.
end of the day, Lena learns what's happening with Zake, and Falwyn reconnects with Arvis and has a conversation with Garn.
Oh.
Just in
Everyone
reverse
did-
order.
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, just
I liked it. I like the reverse story building.
Yeah.
Arvis totally
I
blew
hope
up
it
my spot.
Worked.
Arvis.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Arvis does a
Maybe
lot of
now,
things
now
Lena.
I'm starting to
Lena.
have bad feelings about him.
Literally, next day, Doctor goes up. So, Lena, I heard you've been talking to Arvis.
Yeah.
How'd you find out?
Yes.
He
What?
told me.
It would have been fine if he wasn't like, oh, tell her I'm ready to talk again.
Again.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Oh,
This
I
is
love
fine.
it. It's so good.
Everything
what do we
is
have if
fine.
we don't have trust, am I right?
Well, now we are like 8,000% closer to fixing Zake, which is nice.
That's
Gonna
true.
do it.
No,
That's
someone
true.
knows something is wrong now. So...
Someone
Don't
knows something
forget.
is
Well,
wrong.
somebody's
You
going
have,
to know something is wrong.
well,
Just
also,
after
fun fact,
seeing-
you have this person, the Dawn,
we spike
who's
the
told
punch.
you the creator of the Solari might be able to help with the thing that the
Yeah.
Solari might be able to help with.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Ooh.
fine.
I really worry
Yeah.
about this potion liquid thing, though.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Don't.
It
I need to
just,
find a way to add more.
Just like
Fine.
it doesn't sound like, other than to save Zake, that this is a good thing at all.
No, it doesn't. But
Like, what happens if somebody who is like the nicest person in the world drink? What if Mr. Batinga drinks
it
it?
only lasts for like a couple hours.
Well, Mr. Batinga
Mr.
got
Batinga
shadowed,
is the Shadow Realm.
remember?
Listen,
So-
listen. If the doctor drank it, a couple hours is all he needs to make everyone have the plague.
Yeah.
Because opposite doctor is
the
plague doctor.
So it's not perfectly opposite. It expresses a opposite aspect of you, and you as the player have control of what that means.
Listen, Nat.
Still,
Everyone
don't give it
going
to
die.
Robert.
Everyone going die.
Don't give it to
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
Robert. You will end the
Doesn't
campaign.
I will end
Only
everything.
going- It's only going to Zake, so it's a moot
Yes.
point. Because Lena, you may have noticed, is very tunnel visioned when it comes to certain things.
No.
I will
No.
That doesn't
Megan,
sound right.
I should warn you. Professor Peleus
Don't.
Hawkfrost is a legacy character of mine, so like that should give you a hint as to the kind of person he is.
Mm.
It's fine. It's not like I owe them a favor or anything now.
Oh,
Totally fine.
Well,
Whoops.
well.
Whatever.
Tune in for season
so-
3.
All right, folks.
6 seasons of movie.
shall we wrap this puppy up?
I
Hell yeah.
believe we shall, yes.
Yes.
Go, Robert. Opposite order. Nat's gonna run to the
Yo,
bathroom.
hey, I'm Robert. I played the doctor today, and Arvis and Garn and everyone. That was great. So, yeah, you can follow me on the internets at Voices of Robert. I've been speaking in Twitch with that. You can just look there. It's right there. And yeah, I, as per usual, cannot say anything else about anything else. So I'm just going to drop the bomb on Megan.
Hello, I'm Megan. I have been your spy for the evening. You can find me most places. You can find somebody on the internet at MeganLynnFTW. You can find me, well, here, obviously, with these amazing people. You can also find me here, let me look at my calendar, in 2 weeks on the 24th, so it's 2 weeks from tomorrow, for my show Unprepared, where I facilitate GMless and Prepless games for all of my friends. This month, we are playing a really cool 2-player sad mech game called Breakup on Reentry that I'm really excited about because I love getting sad and I love giant robots. So I'm very excited about it. I also am an indie game designer, and you can find any of my games at meganlynnftw.itch.io. I just put out a new one last week, in addition to a pretty cool quest supplement that I published a few weeks back that I'm pretty excited about too. So you can check my stuff out there. And I will pass it on over to Isa.
Hello, I'm Izza. I have played Faris the Invoker, who's having a great time. As if I didn't completely construct all of this to ruin her life, because I love
Doesn't
it.
get
I live
better
for
from
the
here.
drama. I live for the drama. Hell yeah, I can't wait for more pain. You can find me at Evil Clever Dog on Twitter and Instagram, and at youtube.com/evilcleverdog, making cool cosplay and crafting videos. Come check it out. I just did some cool stuff with Bethesda UK. And you can also find me on Saturdays playing Burn Bright, with which Nat also GMs, and I'm playing that with Draconics and Werewolf Fields, and we're having a great old time in space. It's very fun. Everything's also fine there as well, like nothing's going wrong. Anyway, Nuno.
Universe isn't ending at all.
Sure.
on session
Optimus
two.
Prime is my favorite character.
Oh yeah, I play a robot there. What a surprise.
I want to petition Nat to please don't kill Iz's character because
Please
it's
kill my character.
too much of a powerful of a.
Please
Anyway,
kill my
I'm
character.
deviating from topic here.
It's about the pain.
Oh, no, in that case, it's about the memes. Anyway, sorry, Nuno.
Hello again. Goodbye. Whatever. I don't know. I'm Nuno. You can find me online at jnunotex, Twitter, Instagram, and itch as well. jnunotex.itch.io. Yeah, I play Zake here. Well, actually, I used to play Zake, but now this season I play something other than Zake, but hopefully that's on
Fake.
path to
Wake.
fake.
Imposter
Fake,
Zake.
wake,
I
imposter.
mean, hopefully soon you
Zake.
become cake.
Yeah, cake. That would be good, actually. I wouldn't mind cake. As long as it's not pizza, it's fine. And yeah, that's about it. I have nothing else going on that's worth of note, but I will in the future. So yeah, just give me a follow. That's it. Sam, take it away.
Hey everyone, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @TheSamWisest. I'm Samwise_GameG here on Twitch. I played Ro the Naturalist today, or maybe I should say Cordelia. And otherwise,
I know
you
what you're talking about.
can. What? No, yeah. So I do love the mental image of Ro just looking behind them in the like frozen street when he first said it, just like what? So hey, and I am the accessibility director in addition to being an admin here at the Chromatic Chimera. So you can find me right here pretty much all the time. I'm going to be streaming in our 13th age game, Madame Curio's Bizarre Bazaar, this Wednesday. We're starting a new arc, so come and check that out for some low-level shenanigans. And on Saturday, I'm going to be right back here in our Monster of the Week game, Mysteries of the Mojave. And then otherwise, I'm here on alternating Wednesdays for our Agora's Bells game, which is Fantasy Age, so make sure you come and check that out. Nat, do you want to do the sponsor spiel, or do you need me to? I don't know if you've got stuff.
I just remembered it existed, so I'm just pulling it up now.
I will do it. I mean, it's really quick right now. I actually just put a handy-dandy little link in our chat so you can get a sweet Google Doc with links to all of our awesome sponsors. We are sponsored by the fantastic people at Tabletop Loot, Heartbeat Dice, Artisan Builds, as well as Pelgrane Press, and the fantastic people at the Adventure Guild who published Quest. So if you actually want to check it out, you can go to adventure.game/store and use code NOINITIATIVE, all in caps, for 10% off of your purchase. And I think that's it. Nat?
Hell yeah. Hi, I'm Nat. I've been the clusterfuck creator for this session. I would just like to remind everyone that this game is supposed to be kid-friendly, and I would like you to think about the session we just had.
I mean, it's
Quite literally was not kid-friendly.
Well, yeah, well,
Specifically supposed to be. You know, it's just supposed to be
Yeah.
accessible for people of all ages to play.
The only people that got like hurt were kids. No,
He literally
People actually injured were the children. But
physically hurt.
physically. Yeah.
I don't know
I'm
what
fine.
Zake did. Oof. You can find what I do at CrimeNat on the Twitters, KREMNAT. Also, is a mention to the Trio Bright on Saturdays, also on Chromatic Chimera at 6 Eastern. That game is somehow less together than this one, but more doomy. I don't know. It's also really fun because there's only the 4 of us, so the only 3 characters, we get to really dig into them and can focus a lot on each individual one. Unlike today, where it's like if everyone wants a little side story, they have to be quick. And we'll be back next week with our proper usual format of all the clusterfuck at once instead of meted out in 30-minute-ish increments.
all the disaster all the time.
All disaster all the time.
So
back
just
next
Lena
week.
then.
Join us. Hey, Lena is the most honored disaster.
True. It's true.
Yes. Lena knows what she is. It's fine.
She gone though.
That's all I got today. Who we gonna raid?
We're gonna raid our friends over at Pelgrane Press, so you can actually get a sneak peek at some 13th Age in action.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Yeah. Zake's
Make sure to
going
say
the
hello.
distance.
All right, and thanks so much for hanging out today, everybody. We love you all.
You're all the best. See you next week.
Nat, no.
Eat the people,
Rot.
Nat!